Shalom, everyone. I have a very important prophetic update to share with all of you. This is a teaching about Nimrod, the Antichrist, and Hitler. So let us do a little background. Back in Genesis, Father told us everything that was going to happen in the future: the apocalypse, Messiah's first coming, second coming, the Antichrist, the Holocaust, everything. And every generation in the Bible had few pictures of the apocalypse and the end of times. And in the story of Nimrod, we see this great warrior that was like a kind of Antichrist figure. Actually, his name means rebellion. He rebelled against Elohim since the beginning. He created his empire and his own religion. And he wanted to build a very high tower to conquer heaven. And there was judgment. Every time humanity built a very high tower as a symbol of pride, there was judgment. So we're going to talk about the year 1889. Very interesting year in prophecy with a lot of shocking revelations. During 1889, the tallest structure in the world is set up, which is the Eiffel Tower. So for many, many centuries, the pyramids in Egypt were the tallest. Then there was the Lincoln Cathedral in England was the tallest. And now, this is the first time humanity builds a super tall structure, 300 meters high, in a kind of the shape of a phallic symbol, which is a pagan abomination, of course. It's like defying heaven. So in 1889 begins the Eiffel Tower, the tallest building in the world. Back in the days of Nimrod, we had, when he was building the tower, we had Nimrod trying to build the tower, and Nimrod being a kind of Antichrist figure. And of course, his plan was destroyed. Now, in the modern age, we have a mega tall project, a mega tall structure, and also there is an Antichrist ingredient. I'm going to show you. Few weeks before this Eiffel Tower was finished, there was a man by the name Misra Galum, a Muslim guy. He was proclaimed to be the Messiah. He was obviously a false Messiah. So we see a big Antichrist ingredient. He's one of those few famous people throughout history that have claimed to be Messiah, and Yeshua told us that many fake ones were going to come in his name. So he starts a cult, a fake religion in Punjab. So we see the rising of this cult at the same time of the inauguration of the Eiffel Tower, and we see judgment. As with Nimrod, there was economic judgment in France, and there was a political coup. Very interesting. Also, that year, there was the Russian flu, that is a type of coronavirus, like what we're living right now. So millions of people were infected, and at least 1 to 2 million people died worldwide. That was huge because the population back then was only 1 billion people. That was like 10 times more powerful than the modern coronavirus. So we see this spirit of destruction. The Antichrist brings destruction. Just as there was destruction in the time of Nimrod, the world was divided. And now we come to something very interesting. Just a few days before the inauguration, there was this proclamation of this false Messiah in the Muslim world, the beginning of this new false religion. Few days after the inauguration of the Eiffel Tower, now Hitler is born. Very interesting. And every time something prophetic happens, Father will give us signs. And there's going to be a lot of prophecy around Hitler because he exterminated millions of Jews, and the Jews are the chosen people of Elohim. So he's going to have a special place in history as an evil man. So in that very year, Van Gogh painted this famous paint, the Starry Night, and it shows you many stars, many stars, and that paint became super famous. So that painting contains many stars in heaven, and the prophetic significance is about the falling star. So Hitler is like this type of a falling star, and we see all of the ingredients. Also, at the same time, another very odd thing besides this historical Russian flu, this huge pandemic, we see swarm of locusts in the Nile. There was an historical infestation of locusts in Egypt, just like the Exodus. So we see Pharaoh, the spirit of Pharaoh. Also that year, there were two very powerful eclipses. And just a little side information, Coca-Cola was created, and the original recipe of Coca-Cola, it's not a coincidence, it was made with cocaine, a satanic drink that would poison the world. So now, in order to understand this year, we need to understand the past, because Father works in codes. So let us go 700 years. The Bible talks, this was a sabbatical year. There was economic judgment, natural disasters, Hitler was born, the Eiffel Tower, there was coup, political instability, prophetic stuff going on. So now let us go 700 years into the past to another Shemitah, another sabbatical year. Shemitah is a year where a lot of judgments and prophetic things happen. And we come to the year 1189. That was the time of the Third Crusade to conquer Jerusalem. So we have this Antichrist power in the Vatican launching a war and killing thousands of Jews in the way to arrive all the way in Jerusalem to conquer Jerusalem. Of course, eventually he did fail. Then we have this false Messiah being born in the Muslim world. Then we have this Eiffel Tower, which was now the tallest building for the following 40 years. It would be the tallest building in the world. Then we have Hitler being born. Then we have two eclipses. Then we have the pandemic. Then we have this Starry Night painting from Van Gogh that is about the prophetic meaning, a fallen star falling from heaven. And then we have the Third Crusade. Now, there is a final ingredient. In the Bible, it says that the devil has been cast down to the world and he falls like a lightning. So let us look at Hitler's signature. Here, you can see right there. It's just like a lightning falling from heaven. Thanks for listening, and shalom to all.